Now, globally, it is a known fact that the programmatic way of buying digital media is not only more effective, but is also an assured route of reaching one's target audience. Programmatic buying works on algorithms and real-time bidding and is really the norm in the West and more mature markets. But what's surprising is that India seems rather hesitant when one talks of adopting this latest mechanism and still seem to be stuck in their age-old traditional ways of buying digital media. Is the Indian market then not as agile as it should be, or is our advertising and media planning fraternity justified in not evangelizing programmatic buying in India? Abhinav Trivedi with this rather interesting report.
Programmatic buying is a concept that became a buzzword of sorts a couple of years ago. While this route of media buying is now a norm in the West, in India, most are still grappling with what it means. For the uninitiated, programmatic buying is the combination of real-time bidding and algorithms which synchronize, measure, and segregate only those platforms which fit in a marketer's budget and target group. The entire process is algorithm-driven, and the price of the platform chosen fluctuates with the increase or decrease in the demand. This is completely automatic with no human involvement at all. The ROI is automatically and easily measured as opposed to traditional buying. This technique is already practiced in the Western economies. But what is odd is that India seems to be neither curious nor in a hurry to shift to the programmatic mode in the existing times. Most of the digital media buying is still done through conventional form of buying, where a media buyer buys a spot negotiating with a publisher or website for his respective clients. So why hasn't the more effective way of buying digital media really taken off in India?
If you really look at the India media planning calculus of decision making, it is significantly driven by gut feel. And programmatic is something which is actually quite ruthless. It will tell you that here is the most effective way to target your consumers, but then it may actually throw choices which on the face of it may sound counterintuitive but are actually more effective. Now that requires a marketer to be brave, to get rid of those cookie cutter decisions, no pun intended, that he or she used to take, in the pre-programmatic world. It will throw a long tail of inventory. It will not show the most obvious choices in terms of, vehicle selection on digital. And this calculus of gut feel decision making is actually a hangover from, I would say, TV and print decision making, where there are numbers, there is data, but many decisions are often taken beyond the data.
As compared to the West, programmatic buying is really not taken off in India. And primarily because the ecosystem does not exist. There is no one going out and educating the market about how programmatic works. Imagine a situation where you have DSPs going out and selling their services, you have SSPs going and selling their services, you have agency trading desks who are going and selling their services. All these will contribute to educating the market, right? Your typical media planner does not understand this at all. Your digital media planner might understand this ecosystem. So the lack of education has not enabled the market to grow.
This is how programmatic buying functions. Programmatic buying involves a supply-side platform from where the inventory is made available on ad exchanges. The ad exchanges provide this inventory to the advertisers, which operate via a channel called demand-side platform. And this is where other aspects come into the picture. According to some analysts, lack of premium inventory available on ad exchanges and enhanced transparency reduces margins for some media planners and publishers. Additionally, many Indian marketers see current level of programmatic buying in India as very opaque and hence not trustworthy at all. This further encourages many media planners not to opt for programmatic buying and experiment at this stage.
In programmatic buying, there are two there are three parties. One is the publisher, the advertiser and the intermediaries who run the exchange and so on. Today what is happening is, if the advertiser is paying 100 rupees for a inventory through programmatic exchange, the publisher is getting 40 and the remaining 60 rupees is going through arbitrage of various intermediate parties. And that's lack of transparency is an issue why programmatic exchanges have not taken off to the extent it should have. The second primary issue is lack of premium inventory. By premium inventory I mean is some of the most visited properties and the premium positions within those properties are typically not given to the exchanges, and those still they are still on the fixed buys.
For large agencies, programmatic buying spells a death to their income because it kills the kickbacks, it kills their unethical fat margins that the agencies don't know about. All the big multinational agencies are scared of programmatic buying in India. Actually, they've been doing programmatic buying themselves in the US, they've been doing it themselves elsewhere in the world. They're not doing it in India. Because India still got these fat margins and they've been resisting it, saying, look, let's make another year of obscene profits. Let's make another year of obscene profits. Let's screw the clients for another year. Let's really hoodwink the clients for another year. Right? They don't want it to come. But the same agencies and the same people are doing it elsewhere in the world.
Considering this scenario, what is the way forward? Will Indian media buyers and planners continue resorting to conventional techniques and not adapt to emerging and more robust trends?
First thing would be to do a massive education across agencies, across clients. I think is the first thing in order. The second thing in order is to actually then once the education has happened, one probably needs to actually deconstruct the current decision making model and show what are the biases which are there in it, and how is it that programmatic actually helps you overcome those biases and delivers a substantially higher value for your buck.
Stage one is basically simplifying programmatic, right? So it's not made to be like a very, very complex. The way it should be sort of looked at is a natural way of progression, because digital opens up a different opportunities compared to the traditional way of buying.
Another reason Indian media buyers and marketers are hesitant to adopt programmatic buying is due to differences in objectives. Most of the campaigns in India are driven by reach, while programmatic buying is largely response-driven, which is why response-driven sectors in India such as e-commerce and travel portals have taken to programmatic buying quite well. Analysts believe that as return on media investment starts gaining priority and as marketers start focusing on actual responses over blind reach, the Indian marketing and advertising fraternity will have to accept programmatic buying as their new reality.